Hey folks, new desk setup video. Okay, so with this one, it's a whole other kind of setup. I wanted to build something that was as compact as possible with no compromise on ergonomics and looks, and I think I achieved something here. This setup is also quite practical as all its peripherals connect with a single USB-C cable, making it super easy to come and dock your laptop. This wall-mounted sit-stand desk from Ergotron is quite impressive, and I think it's one of the best options for tiny spaces. In my case, I wanted to use it as a floating desk that my partner and I can use whenever when we work from home. Alright, let's have a closer look. Okay, so this wall-mounted desk comes in a huge box. It is recommended to do this installation with someone else, but I was alone and I did it anyway. But yeah, a bit more risky. So you start with the paper guide to drill the holes. Depending on your wall type, there are different anchors, and I suggest you read the instructions carefully to make sure it's solid. Once the base and top anchors are installed, the desk can be docked on the wall and then secured with the top 3 screws. Then I added the bottom cover to hide the power strip as well as the cable tray for the power cord. As for the monitor arm, it's an additional part that needs to be added near the hinge mechanism. After that, the actual pole is screwed in place. I added my monitor with the quick release system and added the top cover for the final touch. I then added all my peripherals and managed cables, and here's the final result. Okay, so let's have a closer look at this wall-mounted desk. So it's the Workfit Elevate with Power Access from Ergotron, and here Power Access means that there's a built-in power strip where you can connect laptops, monitors, and more. It only comes with the tabletop by default, but I also added the monitor arm accessory, which lets you mount a monitor, obviously, but said monitor will also be height adjustable with tilt and rotation support. Pretty impressive given how compact this setup is, right? With no legs touching the floor and very few cables in sight, especially none on the floor, this is a very clean desk setup. I like this wall-mounted look, with the white base on the wall being uniform with very few exposed parts. It is very pleasing to the eye. It's also offered in a walnut finish, but the one that I have here has a maple top. Although it looks simple, this desk does have quite an extensive feature set. It has a sit-stand functionality, although not powered with electrical motors, but with a gas spring mechanism that is adjustable based on the weight you put on top. So with the front lever, you can quite easily raise or lower the desk for the best position both sitting and standing. It also lets you fold the tabletop down, which is amazing if you don't have a lot of room, as you can gain quite a bit of space back by doing so. There are 2 levers on both sides that you need to pull, and then it releases the top. And as you can see, my peripherals do not fall down, and that's because they're all fixed with double-sided tape, but more on that later. Like I said earlier, this is the variant with power access. This is a very elegant solution for having power in a neat package, and I like how the power cord comes out at the bottom, so it's not as noticeable. Speaking of cables, I did have to work on my cable management game here. So the monitor and the lamp needed power, but then the laptop is powered by the monitor, and so are all the other peripherals. So I connected them in the cable tray where the plugs are, and then all the peripherals connect to a USB hub that's also in the cable tray, and then that hub goes to the monitor to its USB ports. It's then connected to the laptop in use. I also have a hub under the desk, and this one is used for a pretty nifty audio device that I'll present later, and this one also connects to the monitor. As for the power cable, I added this little cable Raceway so that they're hidden, and I was able to cable manage my wall lamp with it as well. As for the chair, I went with the Series 2 from Steelcase that I already had on hand. It's a solid chair, not too expensive, and it matches pretty well with the wall and the rug. So yeah, I like this color combo here. So now to the monitor. This is a ViewSonic 2.5K IPS monitor, and I featured it in my previous video. Solid choice all around. It has KVM support, and its USB-C input charges laptops and connects to USB peripherals, which is very handy here for a one-cable solution. It's a 27-inch monitor, and I think it is the perfect size for this desk. Like I said earlier, it's mounted to an Ergotron monitor arm that's specifically made for this Workfit Elevate wall mount desk. It's a very capable arm, honestly. It doesn't allow you to move the monitor closer or horizontally, but other movements work well, including on-the-fly height adjustments, as it is spring-loaded with a counterweight, so you can easily adjust it, which is nice here as it's a shared desk. As for the laptop, it's mounted behind the monitor, and for that I use another accessory from Ergotron, which is their mini PC VESA mount. And it works well for that without taking additional desk space, so that's a big plus here given the small desktop. Okay, now to the video conferencing setup. I use a Logitech Streamcam webcam, which I've featured in the past. It works well, although a bit expensive for its image quality, but it's alright. It does 1080p at 60 FPS, which is more than enough for Zoom meetings. But what's really cool about this setup is the microphone, or microphones I should say. So I have this VD Live 10 lav mic setup here from Comica. So you get a pair of wireless microphones that you can clip to a shirt, and what's great is that the receiver is USB-C capable, and it is recognized as an audio input source, meaning you can use those microphones during meetings. And like I said, there's a pair of them, so you could be two people at this desk interacting in the same meeting, but I think what could be a better usage if you're alone would be to have a backup when the battery dies. They come in this little charging box, which has a built-in battery for on the go, but here I leave the box always charging so that it's full, and the receiver is wired via USB, so it always has power. I'll now let you hear how these sound. Okay, so this is a sound test of my webcam's built-in microphone. Given that this room is super echoey, I don't expect it to sound very good. And one of the downsides is that if you move away, it doesn't sound as great and the sound kind of worsens in a way. So yeah, not the best experience for anyone who's listening to you, and hopefully the Comica mic sounds a bit better. Alright, so this is a little sound test with the Comica VD Live 10, so this little wireless microphone that I have here. It's pretty clear that it sounds a lot better than my webcam's built-in microphone. This room is super echoey, and this microphone helps a lot to reduce kind of that echo being picked up. What I like the most about this microphone is that it's wireless, so you can move around and still get the same sound quality out of it, so you can present things while standing up. However, one downside is that the signal quality can suffer if an object is placed between the receiver and the transmitter. So I can show you how it sounds. So now, if I turn around again, then it's probably fine. So yeah, depending on your usage, it could be a problem if you're not always facing the camera. Just something I wanted to bring up while talking about this little microphone. Now, to my keyboard of choice, I decided to reuse the Keychron K7. Given its small footprint, lightweight, and low-profile design, it made sense here. And visually, it matches pretty well with the trackpad that I have, which is the Apple Magic Trackpad 2 in space gray. They actually discontinued this color, so it wasn't super easy to find, but I'm glad I found one for this setup. So yeah, I went with a trackpad as it can be fixed on the desk compared to a mouse, and that was one of my requirements given how this desk can fold down. And although both of these products support Bluetooth, given that this is a shared desk that could accommodate different laptops, I wanted to wire all the peripherals so that they connect immediately when you dock your computer without the need to reconnect Bluetooth devices. Also, they're always charged this way, which is a plus, I think. As for lights, I went with options that do not take desk real estate, so we have this Yeelight monitor lamp, which I've shown in the past. Its controller is wireless and has also been fixed to the table with double-sided tape. It really lights up the whole desk, which is great given its footprint. Also on the wall is a lamp by Gantri, although I did have to buy it. They seem to have sponsored a few YouTubers, but I guess I'm not cool enough. So yeah, it's pretty good, it looks really nice, but it is a bit expensive, I think. Alright, I think that concludes this video. I'm super happy with this setup. The fact that it folds down with all the peripherals to me is very cool. I like how compact it can be, and although this room it is set up in is large enough, I can't help but think how great such a desk would be in a small studio or something like that. It is quite expensive, like you can expect to pay over $1,000 for just a desk part, and then if you add the monitor arm, it's even more expensive. But it's such a specialized product that I think it probably makes sense for folks who need something like that, and it wouldn't be the first expensive sit-stand desk that I come across. This one is actually very unique. Anyway, that's it for today. I did put a lot of efforts in this video, so if you enjoyed, please consider giving it a like and also subscribing, because that's the type of content that I make, and I'm sure you'll enjoy my upcoming videos. As always, I'll have all the items featured in this video listed down below, so feel free to check the description if one item picked up your interest. Alright, bye.